All right, this is Paul Bresenden. We're talking about lean marketing again. And this month's brand focus, we're doing a deep dive into a technical SEO audit. For those of you guys that missed our conversations on SEO and how that plays out from a technical versus a functional SEO investment, we talked about that a few months back, so go rewatch that video. I'll just summarize it really quickly. Technical SEO are the coding, site structure things that we do on your website to make sure that search engines, ChatGPT, etc., all that can read and index your site properly. And then functional SEO isn't as much about the technical stuff. It's about what do you actually want to rank for. And so this month we're going to dive deeper into the technical side. What am I actually looking for and how do we review that? And I'm going to start easy. We'll look at a bunch of tools that anybody can use and how we look at them and what each of those factors are. And then we'll dive deep into how to do things manually from a developer perspective of looking at things like Lighthouse audits, coding compatibility, all that other fun stuff. So once again, I think that the technical side, once you get to about 80-90% compliance, right? You do this once or twice a year and you leave it alone. And then you do it again next year and you clean up all of the stuff that was there. There's a bunch of tools that have just automated processes. So if you wanted to just make sure that you're not missing stuff as you improve your site, that's probably a healthy exercise. So the primary one that we use is SEMrush, and it has a site audit tool that just scans for the main important issues, right? Like, is your sitemap XML file correct? So the sitemap XML file is a file that is put on the back end of your website that the search engine crawler would access to say, what are all of your pages? And so this has an issue here. It'll tell you, click on these things, it tells you what it is and how to fix it. A lot of these things you're not gonna be able to fix yourself. So the sitemap one, you probably need some help or support fixing it. The next ones that go into those issues are, hey, you have some broken pages inside that sitemap. Once again, not an easy thing to fix because those should be pulled in from your content management system automatically. You have pages that are broken. The 404 page or the 4XX page means this page isn't found anymore, but somehow you're linking to it. And so you need to figure out, are those just outdated bad pages that we removed? And do I need to create what's called a 301 redirect to push it somewhere else? You have pages with internal links that are broken, right? And so there's just a bunch of issues that would be related to how your site is structured. Do all your sites have title tags? Are any of those title tags duplicated? Do you have pages that are duplicated and you should remove one or the other of them? There's so many issues that get flagged here. Do you have duplicate meta descriptions, or the page size is too big, or any of these things end up triggering either a warning or an error. And then you get a bunch of warnings. So you have a bunch of JavaScript or CSS coding that is not compressed. It's either not compressed or it's not minified, so it just takes more time to load. This is what SEMrush's SEO audit looks like. I'm not going to dive too deep into all of this stuff because most of this has really good documentation around. And what we do with most of our clients here is we just kick out a monthly report that says, hey, is your score healthy or not? Are you increasing or are you decreasing on that? And let's allocate some time just to chunk through a lot of these fundamentals. And so as you add pages, you change pages, you do whatever you're going to do on that side, you're going to get changes in this site health. So SEMrush is one of the big ones. Moz is one of the big ones. Ahrefs is another big one. They all sort of track the same exact things. Meta descriptions, alt tags. Alt tags is the tag on an image that says, what is this image about? So that the search engine knows that the content that's on its page is related to the keyword priority that you're trying to push out, the page title, the H1, the images that are on there. Is there other stuff that's broken? The link and the anchor text that it's pushing back is not working. And so those errors tend to trigger some sort of, either removes the benefit that you would be getting from SEO if all this is working right, or worst case scenario, triggers a penalty for you. So these are kind of the automated ways of doing this. That kind of gives you more intelligence around them because these tools have because these tools have a default process, they also have good sort of like learning libraries that tell you what is this health score about. You can look at any one of these, has help text there, helps you understand what am I doing, how do I fix that, what needs to happen, right? Like, hey, you have 2 million links on your website that are crawled, roughly 10% of those, 200,000 of those are uncrawled, and then 700 of them are blocked by your crawler instructions in your robot.txt file. Is that right? Let's figure that out. So this gives you a healthy perspective to say, what is the delta change, right? You can look and compare some of these and figure out what needs to happen. The other way of doing this, and let's pull up a site. Search. So here's a site. I'm actually going to do this in an incognito window, and I'll just tell you why in just a second. This prevents me from loading all of the plugins and browser data and history that's all associated with this. And so what we would typically do if we were doing this from a developer perspective is to load what's called a Lighthouse audit. So you can do this for free just by going into Chrome, going over to Developer Tools under More Tools. And this will allow you to generate out a Lighthouse report off of this page load. Same similar idea, but this is Google crawling your site in the way that it's generating its own SEO visibility. And so it's giving you a score that you can then download. So it just reloaded the page and it tells you, hey, you have 69% performance, 95% accessibility, 96% best practices, 92 for SEO. It's really good. What it's saying is that your first contentful the site actually loading for someone to see is 2.9 seconds, and the full, like everything's painted visible, is 10.9 seconds, and then gives you the diagnostic on what's taking forever. So your render point, like it's gonna start giving you help on how to drive this much faster. So you have some rendering blocking resources, right? You have some style guides that go along with WordPress that are blocking that, and some of that is related to Cloudflare. So Cloudflare is a caching site that's making you run the cache. Some of this stuff isn't terrible. You just have to figure out, is this the right answer for what we're looking for? You have some of this jQuery script is pulling for Google Maps API. And so Google's slowing you down. Well, no, I can't do much about that, right? You're using specific fonts from Typekit. What we're looking for is what can we actually remove to figure out if this can load significantly faster. So sometimes images, you can explicitly define the height and width so it loads faster. These are coming in from Instagram and your Instagram feed, so no, I can't change those. So there's a lot of stuff that actually just loads in and say, okay, is this the best we can get out of this section? Hopefully this is sort of one view of this, and then you pass this along to your developers and say, wait, what can we do to fix and drive some of this a little bit further and faster? The other tool I use is called Screaming Frog. I'll just pull in Mariner's Church in here again, just so you can see. And so Screaming Frog is a paid subscription, but if you look at this actually crawls your site the same way that a search engine crawler would crawl it. It's very geeky. But it's going to, I don't have this licensed right now, it's going to cap out here at 500 URLs. But what it's going to end up doing is it's going to kick out a bunch of reports that we can then look at and go, okay, what do we want to do with this? So this is stuck at 25. I'm just going to stop it right now, and I'll analyze here. Crawl report. And so what this does is it says, okay, what are my inbound links that are going to be structured? What are my outbound links? What images are in there? If there's any duplicate details. Right now, what it's done is so far in these first few seconds, it's encountered all of these URLs, and you can see there's a ton of stuff in here. Some of it's public, some of it is not. What's indexable? What's showing up? What's the title of each of these pages? And what this does is it allows me to start kicking out specific reports on what do I need to look at. Some of these pages are crawlable. Some of these, the crawlable instructions tell you don't crawl this one in anymore. So you can see for some reason Mariner's leadership is set to be no index to follow. Don't serve this in search. Is this a mistake? These are questions that then come up and go, okay, do we want this to show up in search? What do we want to do with it? You can look at structured data. Structured data is things like events and frequently asked questions and job listings and all of videos, All of those things you can start putting in structured data around and feeding that data into search. This will give you so many things that here's all the directives for search engines on, do you want to crawl this, and what does this look like, and there's a bunch of technical detail that you can then go in and fix. The most important parts of technical SEO have to do with your coding compatibility, but the easy parts that I would expect a business owner or somebody to do directly is to make sure that all of your pages, for every page that you want to rank something specific for, that you want your page to have a unique, very descriptive page title for that matches somewhat to the H1. It's not a direct copy, it's giving a variant or something of that, so that Google can say, okay, these two things are related. That then ties to the core content of the page. We're not going to rank for 37 different topics on our homepage. We have to have specific individual pages that tell people, a human, what that's about. And so Google's trying to pick up, are people actually using that content from an engagement perspective? And can I go find that core topic around those? So you can see, here's May and Jake's love story, love and pursuit. I actually don't, I'm not sure what that is. That's not gonna link back to something that people are gonna actually search in around. So weddings and memorials make sense. If you're gonna look for a wedding and memorial or worship or planning a visit, mariner's kids, all these things sort of make sense, right? And we can look at the page title that goes along with this. So I can just come in here and search kids. So this is Mariner's Kids, Mariner's Church. It's fine. These two things that's your page title. This is your site title. Those are pulling in automatic from the way that WordPress is set up. You may want to have more of a customized title that goes along with this that fits your H1, but these all fit a technical SEO perspective. So when we talk about a technical SEO audit, this works. You have a page title. It's related to the core content of the page. Now, from a functional standpoint, at least once a year, we want to go through and look at these and say, is this what we want to say? There's no flag that's going to check us off from a technical side that says, are you missing a page title? But on the functional side, you're going to end up putting things in that says, hey, how many pages are over 561 pixels that end up getting cut off? This is what the technical audit will tell you, right? And then how many of them are too short? Well, this one's too short. Your Mariner's bookstore is too short. How many of them are duplicated? How many of them are, what needs to happen in some of these? And you're going to end up reviewing this from a technical perspective, saying, well, okay, what are the next steps? What do we need to do? Here's 10 pages that are missing your H1s they don't have. This is sort of a big deal. These are important pages. You should fix those. How many of these have duplicated page titles? Okay, these are big ones. You should fix them. They copy this page from Mariners Online, but these is related to their campuses. And so this is the things that you would catch in a technical audit as you run through them. I'm happy to run technical audits for any of you. A lot of tools have a baked in, hey, we'll give you kind of half of it. I can show you WooRank has one of those. Hey, your score is 10, here's a bunch of errors. And they'll look at it. But then if you actually want to see all of it, you got to sign up for it. And so I can run some technical audits for people. It just depends on which tool we would do, because we would max out our tool if there's a ton of requests. But I'm happy to do that for any one of you guys. Just send over an email to any of us over here at 454 Creative. We will gladly pull a technical audit for you and give you some of the next steps. Hopefully this is helpful. We'll see you in our coaching call.